Scientists have just taken an important step towards understanding how the human brain ages, and their findings could point to future ways of protecting memory and thinking as we grow older. Hi, my name is Soumya Pillai, and this is Pure Science. Researchers from the Yongloo Lin School of Medicine at the National University of Singapore have identified a protein that plays a key role in helping the brain's stem cells stay active. Their work, published in the international journal Science Advances, suggests that boosting this protein might one day help aging brain renew themselves more effectively and preserve cognitive health. To get us started, let me first explain some basics. Inside our brain are special cells called neural stem cells. They are not ordinary nerve cells. They are, if you will, the builders and repair crew of the brain, responsible for generating new neurons throughout life. Those new neurons are especially important in areas like the hippocampus, which is the part of the brain that helps form new memories and supports learning. As we get older, these neural stem cells gradually lose their ability to divide and produce new cells. Scientists think this slowdown is one of the reasons many people notice that memory and mental sharpness decline with age. In other words, the brain's internal renewal system becomes less effective, and the result is slower thinking, weaker memory recall, and reduced ability to learn new things. The new study focused on a protein with a scientific name, cyclic debinding MIB-like transcription factor 1 or DMTF1 for short. Transcription factors like DMTF1 act like molecular switches inside cells. They help control which genes are turned on or off and when. The researchers found that DMTF1 levels drop in aging neural stem cells. That drop seems to be connected to the cell's decreasing ability to regenerate. When the scientists restored DMTF1 in lab-grown aging cells, the cells regained much of their ability to renew themselves, almost as if they had been rejuvenated. This discovery does not mean people will be taking DMTF pills anytime soon. It does, however, offer a concrete lead in understanding why the brain's self-repair system falters with age and how we might fix it in the future. Now, moving on to understanding how DMTF1 keeps brain cells young. Inside every cell, genetic material is organized into tightly packed structures to fit within the cell's nucleus. For a cell to produce new proteins or to divide and renew itself, specific sections of this DNA must become accessible so that the cell's molecular machinery can read and activate the necessary genes. Proteins such as DMTF1 acts as regulatory factors in this process, helping control the accessibility of particular regions of DNA and thereby influencing which genes are switched on to support cell growth and regeneration. In the aging cells studied by the Singapore team, DMTF1 was found to be drastically reduced. Without enough DMTF1, helper genes that work to keep DNA loose and accessible, such as ARID2 and SS18, are less active. The result is that DNA stays locked down and stem cells that can't activate the genes they need to divide and regenerate. When the researchers restored DMTF1, those helper genes turned back on, DNA opened up properly and the neural stem cells started to divide again. This is a breakthrough because it reveals a specific molecular mechanism that goes wrong as the brain ages and one that we can, in principle, target with treatments. Now the question would be, why does this matter for memory and aging brains? At this moment, these experiments were done primarily in cells in the lab, not yet in animals or people. So there is still a long way to go before this leads to any new treatments. But the research shows that a single protein is central to the regenerative decline of neural stem cells with aging. If scientists can one day develop drugs or therapies that safely boost DMTF1 levels or activity in the brain, it might help aging brains hold on to their ability to generate new neurons. That in turn could mean better memory preservation, faster thinking, and maybe even a reduced risk of age-related cognitive diseases like dementia or Alzheimer's. There is also something to look forward to in this research area. The team behind the study is already planning follow-up work. But a big question is whether increasing DMTF1 levels in living brains, not just in lab dishes, will truly help neural stem cells multiply and support memory and learning without causing side effects. Another concern the researchers will need to keep in mind is the risk that stimulating cell division could also increase the risk of tumors. A primary goal eventually is to find small molecules or drugs that can safely activate DMTF1 in the brain. That kind of therapeutic approach would require years of testing, including animal studies, safety checks, and at a later stage, clinical trials with volunteers. Now, scientists have long known that the brain's ability to renew itself declines with age. But until now, they didn't know exactly why or how that decline might be reversed. This discovery of DMTF1's role offers fresh hope that aging brains aren't beyond help and that future therapies could keep minds sharper for longer. Having said that, research on aging brain is actively taking off across the world. In August 2025, another team of scientists from the University of California, San Francisco, also identified a single protein in the brain that could unlock the ability not just to slow down memory decline, but actually turn the clock backwards. That protein was called FTL1 or ferritin light chain 1. We also covered this study on Pure Science, and I have linked the old episode in the description below for you to check out. That was all from me this week. I am Soumya Pillai and you were watching Pure Science on the Print.